Hi everybody, welcome to the second lecture for Unit 5 of English 2. As we usually do in the second lecture of Unit 2, we're going to be looking at some speaking activities. Let's start off with the first speaking activity, and that will be on page 38. Now, as per usual, this is something you can do with a partner, or you can do it by yourself, as long as you take both roles of the activity. All right, so the instructions say, ask and answer questions about the senses associated with the items in the photos. Okay, so in each of these, you've got a picture, and you're going to talk about the object or objects in the picture. Okay, and each of the pictures you're going to describe. Okay, so in each of these, you're going to ask and answer the questions. Okay, so each of the questions is a how question, and they're trying to find out these perceptive verbs. Okay, so the activity is called the five senses. So we're going to look at that, different ways of describing things that are where we use our senses. Okay, so the example, how does the cake taste? It tastes sweet. Okay, so you're describing the cake as sweet. Okay, it tastes sweet. It doesn't look sweet or sound sweet. It tastes sweet. How do the flowers smell? They smell wonderful. So again, we're looking at another sense, the sense of smell. Okay. And we're going to talk about many different descriptions here. Okay. Note that we're using the predicative form of adjectives. They come at the end of the sentence. How does the cake taste? It tastes sweet. So even though how is at the beginning of the sentence, we put the adjective at the end. So the cake tastes sweet. The flowers smell wonderful. So again, so these sentences are incomplete without the adjective. And again, in each of the examples, the adjective is at the end. Okay. So the adjective is listed at the bottom of each picture. Okay. So going on each picture, you're given an object, a subject, and a verb. Okay. These are, again, perceptive verbs. Okay. So hit pause, and you can practice with a partner or alone. Okay. One person will ask the question, the other person will answer, and the answers again are given at the bottom. Notice the subject and verb agreement. Some of the things we're talking about are singular, and some things are plural. Okay. So that affects the auxiliary verbs in the question and the third person S in the verb. Okay. All right, so take a few minutes, finish this, and then we will review. All right, now if you want to practice these, of course, you can go to practice, and there's some audio that you can listen to under each one. You can compare your own examples with the examples given here. You can do this if you register for the ebook. Again, very easy. But I have your attention now, so I'll go through the answers with you. Okay, how'd you do on the first one? Okay, we're talking about a sunset, we're given a verb and an adjective. So the question, how does the sunset look? It looks beautiful. Okay, so maybe somebody is calling you on the phone, asking you to describe a sunset. Okay, it looks beautiful. Okay. Now we're talking about crackers, okay? Or maybe some hors d'oeuvres. How do the crackers taste? They taste delicious. Okay, so the crackers taste delicious. Okay, the third picture. How does the music sound? It sounds terrible. Okay, you can see the expression on his face. Terrible. Okay, so he doesn't like the music at all. All right, the fourth picture. Okay. How do the dogs sound? They sound noisy. They sound loud, okay? Or maybe even angry. Okay, that's how they sound. How do the dogs sound? They sound noisy. Okay, the fifth picture. How does the painting look? It looks strange. Okay. I think Cubist paintings are strange. Okay, it looks strange. All right, the sixth picture. How does the perfume smell? It smells nice. Okay, the next one. How do the peppers taste? They taste spicy. Okay, a bit obvious maybe, but peppers usually taste spicy. Okay, so these peppers taste spicy. Next, how does the cheese smell? The cheese smells strong or stinky. And the last one, how do the pillows feel? They feel soft. I think I made a mistake. I think I thought that said pillows. Okay, but if you only have one, how does the pillow feel? It feels soft. Right, so the one pillow, feels soft. Okay, so the pillows feel soft. The pillow feels soft. Okay, it's almost as if you need an S somewhere when you're talking about these third-person objects. Okay. Good. Okay, that's a bit of practice, and again, a bit of practice with the predicative form and with perception verbs. Okay, we saw that on page 37. Okay. Now meet me over on page 39, and we'll go over some vocabulary. Check that. We'll go over some grammar. Okay, so the self-practice 1 activity is pretty much the same as what we saw in this first speaking activity. Okay. In this case, you're actually given the adjectives. So I assume that you know what kind of adjectives they are and how they relate to these objects. Okay. So these are attributive forms. If you look at these sentences, she has hair. There are some tomatoes in the refrigerator. He speaks 2 languages. So all these sentences are correct on their own. Okay, we're just simply giving some adjectives to give you more information about the objects in each sentence. Okay. So the first one, you're given 2 adjectives. Okay, you're given a descriptive and a color. Okay. Now, so she has hair. The hair is beautiful. The hair is brown. So we're going to put the 2 adjectives in here. Which one comes first? Beautiful or brown? Okay, the answer is she has beautiful brown hair. Okay, so often you will describe the hair before you talk about the color of it. Okay, that's probably the most important information is the quality, and then the color just is a physical distinction. Okay, you could say she has brown, beautiful hair, and I think everyone would understand, but it just sounds strange. So you're communicating well, but you're not communicating accurately. So it's a bit of a distinction between people who can get the structure, basic structure correct, but some students can know the exact order. Okay? Now, if you don't know the answer, and some of these are difficult, you can go to page 37, and there you can see the list. In fact, you can see that here. Again, we looked at this before. Okay? So the description, size, shape, color, the origin, I guess the geographic origin, and the material for it. This qualifier is maybe very strongly related to the actual noun. Okay. All right. So if you want to use this, that's fine. If you think you don't need it, you can simply fill in the blanks. So pause right here, do the activity in your book, and then press play, and we will review as a professor and student. Okay. Okay. So again, using the references on page 37, you might be able to figure out which one of these are correct. I think I got one of these wrong. I think number 3. Number 3 is very difficult. He speaks 2 foreign European languages. I guess they're foreign European languages if you're in Europe. So I'll probably just switch these around. All right, so foreign languages would be, I think, maybe a lexical phrase, okay? And then what kind of foreign languages? European languages. So looking at page 37, you would see foreign would be much more of a qualifier. I think of this as maybe one word, but European would indicate what country it's from, the origin of the foreign languages. So I think that's correct, but I'm not really 100% sure. Usually we just say European languages or foreign languages, and if you're in Europe or not, that would be fine. But the rest are correct. She has beautiful brown hair. There are some fresh cherry tomatoes. Again, cherry tomatoes, to me, that would be one thing. Just like foreign languages would maybe be one word. Or basketball players. Okay. There were 5 talented basketball players on the other team. Okay. All right, and a TV stand to me is one piece of furniture, and of course the size would come before the color. Okay. A bit of a hint here. He was wearing an ugly orange cotton sweater. Okay. So the material of the sweater would go second last, but there's no qualifier. And of course the description or the impression would come before the color. We have a sharp steel carving knife. So again, carving knife to me has maybe one meaning. And the material would be steel, and I'm describing what the steel carving knife is like. Sharp. Okay. There was a scary. Okay, so again, another impression right here. Scary. A long green snake. So the shape, not really a shape, but something like it. So a long green snake in my yard. Okay. Now, I don't know if your ebook is working. Oh, I got that right. Okay, so the ebook is working. I got them right. Number 3, I think, is right, but number 5 is definitely right. They bought a large white TV stand. And again, we know the size comes before color, and color comes before qualifier. So number 5 is correct. Just my ebook is saying something different at the moment. Okay. Good. So that's a good review. And again, this takes some time to learn. Of course, your native speaker teacher intuitively understands this, and often if you don't get the order quite right, you're still communicating effectively most of the time. Just make sure you have some idea of the order for things like the shape and the color and the size. That's fairly easy to remember. And then if there's a specific type of tomato, we're thinking a cherry tomato, this specific kind of knife, not a butter knife or maybe a chopping knife, it's a carving knife. Okay, so it'll take some time, but good job. Okay, so let's continue down to the next activity of the self-practice. So in self-practice 2, we're looking at something that is a very common error among Korean language, Korean university students who are studying English. Okay, you have two words, both are adjectives, and both are describing things with the same root word. Okay, so the root word of tired or tiring is tire. Okay, your textbook explains it or gives some examples on page 37. Let's see if I can explain this again. When you're using the ing form, you're talking about the source, the cause. Okay, I'm not sure if I can spell this out here, but if you can have the cause of the actual disappointment, I should say. Okay, this looks a bit scary. There we go, cause. So the solo performances were disappointing, so the solo performances are the cause. Okay, the effect is that the effect is on us, we, the people who are watching or experiencing the solo performances, feel disappointed. So the cause, what starts the disappointment, the solo performances. Okay, the reaction, okay, is we, okay, or us. Maybe an easier way to think of it is the action is by the solo performances. That's the action, and the reaction is our feelings. Okay, so solo performances cause the disappointment. We, the effect, are disappointed. So again, cause and effect. So looking down at number 1, what's the situation? Jenny is a kindergarten teacher. She loves her job, but it takes a lot of energy. Okay, then we're given a root word here, tire. Okay, so kindergarten teacher. So she uses a lot of energy. Okay, so the job takes a lot of energy. She uses a lot of energy. So therefore, when Jenny gets home in the evening, she is tired or tiring. Okay, so what's the cause of the tire? It's the children. Okay, the children are always asking questions. Okay, so the answer for number 1, B, is tiring. Okay, good. Okay, and the effect, the reaction, Jenny. Jenny is tired. Okay, if you do it the other way around and say that Jenny is tired, okay, so Jenny is tiring, then she's the cause. She's creating the tirement in this case. Number 2, we watched a good movie yesterday. It had a great storyline, a great story or a great scenario. Okay, so it created some interest. Good. So what's the cause of the interest? Looks like the movie. Okay. We could not stop watching. We could not stop watching the movie. The director used something, camera angles and editing techniques. Okay. So what caused the interest? It looks like the movie caused the interest. More specifically, the director. It's his movie. He made it. He created the movie. The movie created interest. We were interested. right? Because we were not the cause. The movie was interesting. The director was interesting. Okay? Interesting, and used interesting camera angles and editing techniques. Okay? So again, the cause will be ing, and the reaction is ed. Okay? Let's continue down to number 3 and 4. Okay? Number 3 and 4, some people smoke cigarettes in restaurants. I don't think so. Oh, they don't follow the rules. Okay? So the rules are no smoking in restaurants. So they, the people who smoke cigarettes in restaurants, they don't follow the rules. So they are annoying, annoyed. Okay, so I get annoying, annoyed when I smell smoke in a restaurant. Thoughtless smokers are very annoying, annoyed for non-smokers. Okay, so again, ing for the cause. What's the cause? The people smoking cigarettes? Or me? Okay, the answer? The thoughtless smokers. Okay, they are the cause. They are creating the smoke that I smell. They are creating the smoke. So they are annoying. Okay, and I am annoyed. Okay, I'm not annoying. I'm not smoking. I'm not creating a problem for other people who breathe. Okay, I am annoyed. They are the cause of the smoke, the effect. I smell it. I am annoyed. Thoughtless smokers are annoying. 4, my parents like traveling. They go to a different place each year. Okay, it's like something is creating excitement. Are the parents creating excitement? Am I creating excitement? Probably I'm not creating excitement. Traveling to new places is exciting? Excited? Okay, looks like the answer is ing. Exciting. Okay. Now traveling cannot be excited. It's not a thing. Things that are excited or annoyed or interested, these have to be people or animals. Okay? Someone who has emotions, someone who can have these feelings. Okay, so a thoughtless smoker has feelings, and a director has feelings, but they are causing these interesting movies or causing the annoying smoke. Okay, but traveling traveling has no emotion, so traveling cannot be interested. All right, traveling has no feelings, so traveling to new places is interesting. Okay, I was excited to get a postcard from them in Machu Picchu last year. Okay, so they obviously went to Peru to see the sights. So I was excited to get the postcard. They, the parents, were excited to visit Machu Picchu. Okay, and the trip was very interesting, very exciting. Traveling often is exciting. It creates excitement. Okay. So I hope that was helpful, and it'll help you with distinguishing different adjective forms when describing. Again, so the solo performances are the cause, and we are the effect. Okay, I'm going to pause it again, and then we're going to start again at the next speaking activity on page 40. All right, so on page 40, and apparently on page 103, we're going to be doing another information gap activity. So student A, you can go to page 103. Student B, you can stay here on page 40. Okay. So you'll have to divide up into student A or student B. Each of you will have to do a matching exercise. Okay, you can't help each other because you have different information. Okay, classmate B, you're going to work with Joan, Travis, Marcus, Laura, Stanley, and Edith. What I want you to do is read their situations, then match these situations with how they feel. Okay? So Joan has an important test tomorrow. Okay? Probably Joan is nervous. Okay? A lot of people who have tests are nervous. Probably Joan is too. Okay? In fact, if you want, you can just simply write the number 1 right here. You can add the other numbers as well. Okay? Classmate A, on page 103, you'll have a similar activity. Okay? You'll have 6 different people and 6 different situations, 6 different feelings. Okay? All right, I'm going to pause it, and you can do the activity, and then I'm going to do the review for classmate B here. Okay, I assume you and your partner are done, or if you're studying alone, that you are done with page 40. I'm just going to review page 40 only. It's the only review I have. Okay, so we're going to match these. Joan, right, thought she'd be nervous. Okay. 2, Travis just had a car accident. Okay, his car hit another car. Maybe he has a very strong reaction. He's shocked. He's very surprised. 3, Marcus got a new motorcycle today. So he must be have a very positive feeling, I think. Okay, maybe he's excited. Okay. Laura, on the other hand, lost her cat yesterday. Okay, so that's a very negative, very sort of bad feeling, maybe even sad. I hope she finds her cat. 5, Stanley ate too much for dinner. Okay, must have been delicious. The stomach must be full. He feels full. Okay. And that leaves 1. Edith forgot to bring a present to a party. How embarrassing. It's an embarrassing thing. She feels embarrassed. Okay, good. Okay. Those are all correct. Good. Okay, so I assume you got the same one. You can do it again if you want. So now that you've correctly matched those up, your partner is going to ask you questions. Okay? Ask you questions about these people. Okay? So she's going to ask you about Joan. I'm going to ask you how Joan feels and why. Or more specifically, she's going to ask who feels nervous. And you know that's Joan. And when she asks why Joan is nervous, you have to say she has an important test tomorrow. Okay, so Joan is a woman, just like Laura and Edith. Travis, Marcus, and Stanley are men. Okay. When you're done answering her questions, then you, student B, can ask questions about Akbar, Cindy, Quentin, Eddie, Nora, and Christine. Okay. One of them feels bored, another feels angry, another feels surprised. Okay. You can find out who feels that way. Okay. Then you can find out why he or she feels that way. Okay. All right, good luck, and you can check the answers on ebook, and we'll see how you do. Okay. That concludes Unit 5.